with triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna blame me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation, don't try my patience. I'ma pull out 1 foot of set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Well, he's going to take a shot. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Boy, an aggressive play call to start this game. It backfired, but aggressive, no question about that.
Is that one of those statement calls? Trying to let you know that they're going to be aggressive right out of the gate, but that one hung up just a little bit too long. He made a nice play on the ball.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Shotgun now for Breeze. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line. It's a sack.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they've got to be thrilled to have this game still at 0-0 after the interception thrown on the very first play of the game.
They certainly do. And what I enjoyed was watching him on the sidelines because as the defense came off, he was there to congratulate him and really say thanks because he threw the interception. It didn't turn into any points.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And some space here. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
93's the mic. 93's the mic. Let's go one more.
They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Another try after the first down sack. Breeze. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
The first carry now. This is Williams. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
21.
Here's Breeze to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 14.
First down, Saints. Kill. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Check nickel. Ship.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Breeze. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ready. 5-9.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
He's coming. Five. You ain't got nothing. Mike 13. We go 21. Mike 13. He's coming.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
Second and 11. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Go! 50's the mic. Go!
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Going deep for Diggs. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here comes Grant on the return.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 43-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out and out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Now Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints have taken the lead. Lutz with the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now back to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Well, there was second long, now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Go!
Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're starting to put some space here. The first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch. Kill!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. He's going to loft one deep over the middle, and that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score.
Let's go!
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll look to throw here. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
Let's go.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Here we go. Here we go.
From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Yeah, this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. He'll look to throw. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And his kick is indeed good, and that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. They had it first and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive, but you run out of space to run the deep route, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. Couple completions, just string them.
That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Yes! Ready?
He'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. They almost gave it right back to him there with another interception of their own. And to be honest, he probably should have caught that and picked it off.
And he knows it, and he'll see it in film, and he'll see it in his dreams tonight when it's all said and done. But you almost felt like the excitement had been ramped up, and they were trying to get a big play right after that one.
Breeze will try again on 2nd down. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Ready? 5-9. He's coming. Check in. Oh, here we go. Oh, 11. 13, Mike. Hey, Charlie. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. Mike 13. He's coming. Check in. Right.
On first down, Breeze. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw, a free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. This will be taken short. So nothing separating these two teams as we head to the break all square. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, and ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Gotta wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
He's coming. Check in.
Now Breeze. Thomas has got it. Complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 28. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Breeze now on first down. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Spot. We go 21. Here we go.
Here's Breeze. And he fires one that's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator,
touchdown, Vikings! Will Fuller, his 2nd touchdown on the season as they have taken the lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
We're good. High forward, ready.
Throwing now is Breeze. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here, back at the 21-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down.
Alpha. He's coming. Check in. Watch the slap.
From the gun, it's Breeze. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
It really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Hey, Echo. Mike's 50. Time to go. Night. Mike's 50.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Ready. 15 line. Hey, Delta. 52. Rock it. Let's go, baby. Turn up. Let's get that ball. Get it.
2nd and 9 now. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Irv Smith Jr., his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Hey, break it down, fellas. Break it down.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Breeze going to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. This is brought in at the 21. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Here's the 2nd and 7. It's caught. Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and drop shy of the 45. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7 at the Saints' 46-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw here. Going deep for Diggs. And that going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
Let's go. Let's do it.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Ready.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Kill.
Now Breeze. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down.
Check. Hey, Haywood. Quit talking about it. And bring it. Line 13, line 13. He's coming. Clap.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Able to find Harris, complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
He's coming, he's coming. Hey, kill. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want me. Check the hot read. Undercrush. Shoot.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
You got him.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd down 6 at the 39-yard line.
Easy, opposite. It's a party now.
On 2nd down now. It's Williams, and there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
5-9. I smell fear now. Hey, kill.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. He's going to rifle one deep left, and this is caught inside the 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Here we go.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are back within a single score. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And boy, having that... And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. That one looks like he'll throw here. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get 1st downs and eat away at the clock.
They'll look to throw. The open man is Smith. A gain of 19 and picking up the 1st. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50. No.
Hey, Sam on. Get it.
Now back to throw. And this is caught by Jackson. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 41-yard line. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
Feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises, really both sides did, but they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because